best. From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father and his child. Every driver, heart aflame, and adrenaline runs wild. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Cars running on the high side, looking for more grip, drifting sideways and holding tight, trying not to flip. Rubbing fenders, bumping doors, ain't no time for doubt. Pushing hard past the limit, we're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. As we get ready to rumble, we get ready to duke it out here this evening from the beautiful dirt track at Charlotte. As each and every one of these drivers get ready to rumble here this evening, qualifying has come to a close, so the drivers that have earned their way into the A-Main feature event, whether or not it was from qualifying inside the top 20 or being one of our provisional drivers out there on the racetrack, they'll get an opportunity right now to slide out onto the racetrack, a quick warm-up session. They'll be making sure that their cars are absolutely perfect and ready to rumble for 65 laps of hard racing action here this evening in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Circle Track Showdown. This is race number 5 of the Circle Track Showdown, and we've seen some pretty good winners. We've seen some pretty amazing races, and here tonight going to be another absolutely amazing show from all of these drivers. They're going to put on a absolutely amazing event. Charlotte's such a beautiful racetrack, especially when we get to see these guys duke it out 2, 3, 4 wide out there on the speedway, elbows up and rubbing and scrubbing out there on the racetrack with these full fendered beast out there on the speedway. As they'll get ready to slice and dice, they'll get ready to battle here today. We welcome each and every one of you into the broadcast. If you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we'll get ready to set them loose. We'll get ready to go green flag racing here in just a couple more moments. Now, I do know that there is the Schaefer's Oil. It's the Race to the Fling presented by VLR on here tonight. Now, we're not gonna, obviously it's on, nothing we can do with that, but Timmy says something's wrong with scoring, says I qualified second. Ooh, Timmy, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, brother. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. We love that. We love that. Seeing the 99 right up in the front of the field, that's exactly what we came here to see, man. That's exactly what we want to see these guys be able to do is, man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be absolutely great to see how all these drivers and how everyone's going to be able to try to navigate, make their way through the field, and potentially either just try to hang on for a good finish or try to battle through it, because we're going to see some different strategies here. Drivers may be hard on the throttle, really just trying to pull away, hoping to see it maybe stay clean and green all race long, or just trying to be the fastest car and lead this race or be at the front of the field right from the drop of the green flag down to the checkered flag, where there may be other drivers who want to try to run it a little differently. There may be some drivers that elect to try to, roll out of the throttle a little sooner, be a little easier on those tires, and hope that they can, kind of save a little bit, keep a little bit of that tire in their back pocket for later on in the night, especially if we see a late race caution flag that could open up the door for them to make some big moves and race their way up towards the front of the field and maybe even steal the win away from one of our amazing drivers that'll be at the front here in this one. But we'll get ready to see how they're all going to be able to play it out, as we do see Dave Morgan. Dave coming in with that heart reaction. How are you, Dave? Dave coming in, showing the love, and my boy Jeremy Vaughn racing as well, coming in with that heart reaction. I appreciate that, Jeremy, showing the love here in this one as well. As man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting to see. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. There's going to be a lot of great battles out there on the speedway, and we have another amazing field of drivers ready to rumble, ready to duke it out here in this one. Even with the VLR, the race to the spring fling going on right now, it hasn't stopped these drivers from still showing up and showing out here this evening. We got a lot of fast cats in attendance, ready to battle, ready to try to put themselves up and into victory lane here this evening, including some drivers like Jeremy Vaughn. When we look back there, we see drivers like Nick Paris, we see Tyler Jackson, Nathan Trepo. We look even farther back, you see Tim Taylor and Cody Ernest. You look at, Steven Stefanski. Some of these guys are very, very good, very talented drivers. You got William Hargreaves, Ty Ralph, Tyler Ryan out there. You look at the front of the field right now, quickest here in this warm-up session, the number 16 Ryan. That is Dustin Hennigan. Good to see Dustin on the sim again here this evening. It's been a little while since we've seen Dustin out there on the racetrack having some fun here in these dirt street stocks. So great to see Dustin Hennigan out there on the track. He'll be looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane. Philip Sexton in attendance, Cameron Stefanski. So many great drivers, talented drivers ready to battle here this evening. Kyler Bronson as well, also out there on the racetrack. Good to see Kyler out there. I haven't seen Kyler in a little while as well, so good to see some of these other drivers kind of getting a little bit of a comeback arch here, starting to work their way back into some of these shows, starting to make some of these races. And there you go, you do see the Hollywood Shark ride just for a split second, giving you guys a good look there at T-Jack's new paint scheme here this evening. First time, I do believe, on a broadcast, or potentially broadcasted last night, but I know first time on the PeaceMaker series broadcast. First time we've seen that new paint scheme for him, so it's going to be great to see that Hollywood Shark out there beating and banging a battle and trying to put himself up and into victory lane. As Johnny Ratley, what's good, Johnny? Johnny says, after watching first part of the Spring Fling qualifier, ain't no question who the best broadcaster in the business is. Let's fucking go, Johnny! Let's go, baby! We appreciate that, brother. We appreciate that, mister. Hey, listen, all the power to the Spring Fling, man. Colvada, he tried to get me in there. He tried to get me into the booth for that. We couldn't find an opening. I probably could have potentially tried to squeeze it in here if Jim would have slid this back or maybe moved it forward. Maybe we could have got something working. But sometimes it's too much of a headache trying to move things around. And we got broadcasts, we got series every single day. So if it's not planned far enough ahead where I can really give ample amount of time to make plans or to work out something, then I don't really like doing that. I don't like being that last minute guy to try to change something or move something around or anything else. So we didn't want to do that, but we could have definitely been there. We could have been the voice. We could have been putting on that Spring Fling race here this evening, but we want to be up here in the booth. We want to be right here with the DWR crew, as you do see that Dirt Warrior Racing League number 8 ride. That is the Hollywood Shark Machine new paint scheme. Who dis as the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack out in front will lead us to the green flag. Tim the Toolman Taylor there in the Memphis Grizzlies TNT Racing ride will start in position number 2. Great qualifying run there for Tim Taylor. Chad Puterbo there in position number 3. That JRE got rumpy graphics. The Mama Schuler, number 20 ride right there in that 3rd spot. Great qualifying effort there for Chad as well. Evan Monaghan and Dustin Hennigan right there. Hennigan going to start in that 4th position. Evan Monaghan there in 5th. Tyrell to his outside on the TNT Racing number 2. Jeremy Sexton back in 7th with Jeremy Vaughn to his outside. Philip Sexton and Jackie Whaley rounding out our top 10. Brandon Van Houten, Nathan Trepo, the Witch Doctor, Jim Rivas, James Ellington, Derek Rice, Stephen Burrow, Kyler Bronson, Steven Stefanski, Dakota Proud, Tyler Ryan, William Hargreaves, Jeremy Aikens, Cody McCoy, Jason Calhoun, Cody, Ernest Mason, Cassidy, Marcos Pace, and Cameron Stefanski bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here this evening from the dirt track at Charlotte as the DWRL Circle Track Showdown back underway. As out in front it is that Hollywood Shark ride of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack out in front, but you see Tim Taylor still just rolling that outside lane, but you can already tell that 8 ride trying to keep that car as straight as possible, not wanting to put too much rear wheel into it, not wanting to burn his stuff up early in this race, and it's right out of the get-go. You see that out of the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. He was able to lead a lap, he was able to kind of show that he's got the speed, but he obviously qualified in that pole position, but now you can just see him hugging those tires, keeping that car as straight as possible, keeping it down low where you take a look up at the 99 ride of Tim Taylor, who takes over this race lead now out in front. Dustin Hennigan there in 2nd. They're sitting in there. They're driving it a lot deeper and sliding these cars a lot more, and that could potentially wear out their tires here this evening as we do see our first caution flag of the day fly. So our first yellow flag, and it looks like Kyler Bronson in the 24, the Dino Co. number 24. Gonna have some issues here as up against the fence here, exiting corner number 4. I'm not sure if they're just 3 wide. Looks like that's exactly what it is, 3 wide. Down the front straightaway, they just kind of get tied together, and it just shoves this 24 ride up the racetrack. Ends up putting him upside down. Luckily enough, does get flipped back over, back onto all 4 wheels, but unfortunately not before that caution flag will fly, as that was definitely a bit of a tough one right there. Obviously 3 wide racing, the driver down on the inside. When you look at Ellington, even that 357, it is very, very tough, especially when that car is coming with a big head of momentum. You're not expecting him to all of a sudden be there, and all of a sudden here he is poking his nose right there. By the time that Derek Rice really sees that car's to his outside, it's already too late. They're already making contact. They ran out of room, and it just gets tight. They both drivers push up the track, and then the 24 just can't get that car to turn into the corner. Drives it right up into the outside fence there. Pretty heavy hit for him, obviously. Climbs that wall, climbs the fence right there, and goes up and over. And luckily enough, it was the 88 ride of Cody Ernest that kind of tail-tanked him right there. Gave him a little bit of a nudge. They got him back onto all 4 tires to keep on rolling here this evening, but we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to battle here in this one as Jimmy Massey says, when was the Spring Fling qualifier? Is the Spring Fling qualifier for next week? It's on the VLR page. I'm pretty sure it's tonight. I'm pretty sure I saw that earlier that it was happening. Pretty sure that's their qualifier here this evening over on VLR, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's going on right now there, Mr. Massey. Here we go. Back to green flag racing, and it's Tim Taylor out in front. Timmy's got the race lead here at Charlotte as T-Jack looking back down to the inside. But quickly, the 8 ride right back into that tendency. Keeping that car pinned down low, trying to keep it as straight as possible, not wanting to burn up his equipment here this this evening. Trying to keep the tires underneath him, trying to keep himself under control here today as we see Tim Taylor continue to hang on to the race lead. Great to see Dustin Hennigan again back out there on the racetrack, and here comes Henny looking for the race lead as he works to the back bumper of the 99. So Hennigan up and into second, and right there following him now into third. It's the 13 of Evan Monaghan. Monaghan up and into that third spot as T-Jack just keeps holding that inside lane. The outside, obviously right now, has a lot of speed. It's way quicker up there, kind of especially down through 3 and 4. Seems like everyone's still kind of deciding where they want to run here in quarter 1 and 2. As you see Hennigan go to the bottom side, the 99 rolls the outside lane, and all these drivers kind of roll in different lines, and that's one of the things we love about Charlotte is there is so much room, there is so many different lines that you can take to try to navigate your way up and towards the front of the field. Now it's all about how much are you using, how much are you abusing out there on the racetrack to get you up towards the front of the pack. Is Tim Taylor out in front, continuing to slide that rear end? He's burning up those rear tires. Is that going to hurt him in the long run? Will this car fall off? Will he fall backwards? We'll have to wait and see as Ty Ralph now trying to work his way up inside the top 4 here as he works to the outside of that 8 machine of Mr. Tyler Jackson. There is Jeremy Sexton as well. Jeremy looking to try to race his way up inside the top 5. Jeremy Vaughn there as well. That beautiful Team No Love number 8 ride right there working his way up into that 7th position as Brandon Van Houten, one of our hard chargers out there on the racetrack. That Twisted Speed machine, the 76 ride of Van Houten now up into the 8th position. Sort of back in 14th, so already up 6 spots on the racetrack. He is feeling a-okay there on the racetrack. Philip Sexton back in 9th with Chad Puterbo. Unfortunately, Chad falling backwards here in his DWR machine as he's now back into that 10th position. He's got Jackie Whaley right there with him, but we see contact, and the caution flag will come out. Yellow flag back on the speedway, and it's one of our race leaders collected here in this one. Tim Taylor going around Evan Monaghan, gonna join him, and that will bring out our second caution flag of the day. So Monaghan up and into position number 2. They were able to work themselves to the outside of that 16 machine, and then right there, it's almost a little bit of 3 wide, and I don't think Monaghan expected the 16 of Hennigan to get a great run down to the inside groove here. And all of a sudden, they end up 3 wide, and I do not think he was expecting it. And obviously, Tim Taylor, really nowhere for him to go in this one. Really nothing he could do. Let's take a look here at the 13 ride. Monaghan trying to get a great run. And right there, you see Hennigan kind of come up, and it looks like the 13. I don't know if he comes up because he realizes that the 16 rides down low right here and thought maybe he was going to get some contact there, or he was just trying to follow back in behind the rear bumper of the 99 ride and just misjudged and wasn't yet clear of Tim Taylor right there. Clips him, gets him slideways there on the racetrack. Obviously, him and the 99 make contact. Then, oh man, big hit right there for the 2020 ride of Sexton as well. And then we see more contact between the 13, the 99 ride, and everyone else trying to slide through here. And unfortunately, for the DWR rides right there, 2 of them end up making pretty solid contact with this 13 machine as here we go. We'll see the 20 ride. That is Mr. Chad Puterbo here. Puterbo trying to just send it through the corner, trying to get down low. Unfortunately, misjudges it, runs into that 13 ride. And then you also see the 71 ride of Hargreaves here as well. Looks like Will's going to get a big hit into him. Pretty solid contact for that Dirt Panda DWR ride. Just down low, just trying to keep himself out of trouble. And all of a sudden has a car parked right there on his nose, and that will put us back under the yellow flag. But we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and back to green flag racing. And the admin crew doing a great job. They give the 99 ride of Tim Taylor his position back. Obviously, no fault of his own. Got spun out right there. Now he's able to get back to the front of the field, and he's ready to go back to work and trying to keep these drivers back there at bay and off his back bumper. Here this evening is already 13 laps completed here today as Mama Bear coming in, showing the love. How are you, Mama Bear? Susie Dickinson coming in, showing the love here in this one. How are you, Mama Bear? Showing the love. I appreciate you coming in, showing the love here in this one. Yeah, Johnny says it's on now. It is on now. VLR Spring Fling, but we got DWR Circle Track Showdown, which is 10 times better. 10 toes down. As here we go. We see that 99 ride out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done as Tim Taylor continues to lead this race. The TNT racing ride, showing him how to get it done here in Charlotte. As that's Jeremy Sexton right there behind him. Jeremy making some big moves here, up 5 spots, started quite a bit deeper than we normally see this 2020 ride start. Normally we see him start up towards the top 2 rows and quickly trying to take that race lead away from the 99. Goes for a bit of a dirty slide job right there. Just barely clears the nose of Tim Taylor. Looked like Timmy, even with that little bit of contact, had to roll out of it. Knew that if there was any more contact, that may have stuffed him and the 20 ride up and into the outside fence. So great veteran move for the 99 to roll out of the throttle, give that spot up, and now he's going to have to try to figure out a way to jump up there and get it back away from him. As Tim rolls there in position number 2, we will see that caution flag come back out, and that will give him another opportunity, another chance to make some moves here later in this race. He'll be once again to the outside of this 2020 ride, as we do see the 33 of Ellington gonna run into issues. So James Ellington in his TNT Racing 5.6 graphics ride down low, looks like a little 3, almost 4 wide, down and out at corner number 2. Some contact there with Dakota Proud, and then a little contact up and into the 2 ride here, Mr. Cameron Stefanski. Unfortunately, some pretty solid contact right there as man, you just try to work your way through it, trying to keep yourself out of that trouble, and sometimes everything you can do, everything you want to do is sometimes just not enough. And unfortunately right here, the 33 just kind of stuffed in the middle and maybe even get a little help here. Let's take a look. Cameron sends it in underneath of them. I don't really think they make any contact, but it just washes up into the door of the 19 ride, back down the track off the door of the 2 machine, and that's what spins Ellington around, and that's what puts us back under the yellow flag. So a couple tough hits there. He'll line up at the rear of the field, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, as each and every one of these drivers will get ready to duke it out here again this evening. Now, I did see the 19. It's showing Cody McCoy as the 19, but it's not Cody in that 19 ride. Who's in the 19 here, chat? I thought it was Dakota Proud. We normally see Dakota in those 19 machines. This is Dakota Proud. Okay, I thought that was Dakota Proud's ride. Okay, good to see Dakota out there. Just iRacing says that he's in the 26, but his car number is the 19 ride. So here we go. Back to green flag racing is Jeremy Sexton with that race lead. Here we go. It is on like Donkey Kong. After 17 laps being completed here this evening. Still a lot of laps. Still a lot of racing left to go. And when we look back at our pole sitter, Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, still hanging out here inside the top 10, but you still see him rolling that inside groove, keeping this car as straight as possible, trying to keep it down in that pay dirt and not really sliding or kicking out that rear end, trying to keep these tires underneath of him and hoping that he can save some for later in this race. But will it be too little too late here for that 8 run as he continues to fall farther and farther back? Now scored in about the 7th, 8th position here off of corner number 4 and across the line. He's got Jim Rivas and the DWR teammate there, the 720 of Jackie Whaley, working to his outside. Here comes that TNT Racing 45 run as there's a pile up, and we got another yellow flag as it's a parking lot down here in corner number 3. Parking lot for a lot of drivers. See Brandon Van Houten in it, the 17 ride. 15 is Steven Stefanski in there as well. I do believe that is Mason Cassidy in the 17 tied up in that one. We saw a few other drivers also getting collected as another yellow flag. Cautions breeding cautions here in this one, and that was a big one right there. As again, looks like it's Tim Taylor who may be at the center of the focus here. He had slid back into about that 3rd position, then a big run underneath of him, and drivers just start running over top of each other. So out of corner number 2, it looks like the 76 of Van Houten gets a great run, gets down to his inside here. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. So Van Houten's going to get in here. Where's Brandon? There he is. Okay, so watch this 76 ride. Gets underneath of the 99 right there. And as he gets under Tim Taylor, it kind of gets him a little bit loose, but he's running out of room as the 2 ride at Ty Ralph also washing up the racetrack. I think he would have been okay to cut farther down the track and keep on battling here, but it's the contact between the 2 and the 76 that launches the 76 still up into the back bumper of the 99, and then you see Jeremy Vaughn getting into it. Here comes Philip Sexton in there, and all these drivers just get tied together, and then it just creates this mayhem. Look at everyone just spinning around, and everyone else back behind them now having to try to figure out a way to get through it. Unfortunately, Stephen Barreau gets in there, pretty big hit for himself, and then we see so many other drivers who are just going to slide into this and end up getting some pretty solid contact as everyone's just trying to dip, dodge, and dive here. You see them 3, 4, 5 wide, everyone trying to get through it. Contact for the 24, a little contact there for the 43 ride. The Witch Doctor, Mr. Nathan Trepo. Looks like Cody McCoy getting some damage into that one. The parking lot down there through corner number 3 and 4, and here we go, back to green flag racing though. Quick caution flags and right back to the action here this evening as out in front is Jeremy Sexton. Sexton has that race lead. Jeremy out in front trying to keep these drivers back there at bay, but he's got one of the young guns. He's probably not that young anymore, but when he started here on iRacing, he was one of the young guns, one of the young up-and-comers. He has shown a ton of great speed. He's had always a very, very fast car, and for that 16 ride at Dustin Hennigan, he'll be looking to try to showcase his talent again here this evening. Running in that second spot, we'll wait and see if he can make a move to try to jump up and take this race lead away. Tyrell there in second with Tim Taylor hanging on to position number 4. The 720 of Jackie Whaley back there in 5th with Phillips Sexton there in 6. Tyler Ryan up 16 positions for this number 47 ride, up 16 spots on the racetrack. Started all the way back in about the 23rd position. Now finds himself here in that 7th spot on the racetrack. Man, what a run for Tyler Ryan. And then we see Tyler Jackson right there behind him, the DWR, that Hollywood Shark ride back there in the 8th spot with Jim Revis, Chad Puterbo rounding out our top 10. Marcos Pace, Nathan Trepo, all right there as again they're getting a little hairy and scary back here. It is unlike Donkey Kong. You see, oh man, Derek Rice trying to find his way down low and through it. You look at William Hargreaves right there. He's trying to navigate his way through all this chaos and through all this 3-4 wide battling back here deeper in the field. And this is the Charlotte racing that we love to see. This is the racing action that we love here at Charlotte. 3 wide, 4 wide, everyone in a different lane. Drivers standing in there deep. Other drivers looking for the big momentum runs down these front straightaways. And man, it is an absolute blast to watch these guys duke it out. It's a big slide right there for the 76 of Van Houten. Van Houten sends it in there deep over the nose of the Dino Co. Number 24 ride right there is Kyler Bronson. Got a little stuffed up into the outside fence right there. Luckily enough, able to hang on to it, keep it pointing the right direction. You do see Evan Modigan trying to battle his way back up towards the front. The 8 right of Jeremy Vaughn. He's back there trying to work the Team No Love machine back up towards the front of the field here. Same with Ellington there in 26. Jeremy Vaughn back in 27th. Cody McCoy bringing up the rear of the field as the Helton Gaming number 13 ride sits there in that 28th position. But it's all Jeremy Sexton after 29 laps, this time by the start-finish line. 29 laps completed. It's Jeremy Sexton out in front, leading the way is James Beavers. What's good, James? James says, what's up? And coming in with that like on the stream, my boy Justin Johnson. What's good, JJ Justin? Coming in with that heart reaction. Momo Bear with the heart reaction here on the broadcast. Cody Ernest, Jake Stefanski, all coming in, showing the love here in this one. As Jake says, this is why I had to take a break. Nobody has patience anymore. Yeah, that is definitely tough. As Momo Bear cheered on Jeremy Vaughn, cheered on grumpy old Jim Ravis here this evening as Ravis trying to work his way slowly but surely back up towards the front of the field here. Had a great run last week and good to see another good finish here for that 57 ride as Jim Ravis rolls there in that 8th position. Be great to see Jim get back up onto the podium, maybe back into victory lane here in the series. But you take a look at our pole sitter, Tyler Jackson, T-Jack. After qualifying in that pole spot, he's been right here honking these tires, keeping that car pinned down to the bottom side, just waiting patiently, lurking in the weeds. I think at this point he's starting to hope that he can see a caution flag here. Probably not right now, but maybe in the next 5-10 laps potentially, if he could get that caution flag, get this pack back together, give him ample amount of time to start making some moves, see if he can work his way up towards the front of the field here and maybe get into this battle for the race lead once again. But he's going to want a caution flag. He doesn't want to get hard onto the tires here and then he burn up everything that he saved and only use it to gain a few positions. He wants it under a restart where he can use those tires and all the saving that he's done to his advantage and make the most of it and just slide around a lot of these guys. As now you do see Jim Rivas right there trying to hang on to his machine. Marcos Pace trying to hold that 8 ride back there at bay and trying to keep him from working his way back inside the top 10. And right now doing a great job of it. Marcos just running 1 lane higher than that 8 ride. I think that's even kind of slowed him down. And now we do see one driver head right down to the infield. It's Tyler Ryan. Ryan just turns hard left out at corner number 4 and takes his car virtually down pit road, but he's able to keep it rolling here. He's down in the grass. No caution flag as of yet. We're going to keep it clean and green as there goes Ryan. He's looking to rejoin the field out there on the racetrack down the back straightaway. No yellow flag. We keep it clean and green. I'm not sure what happened here to Tyler Ryan. Let's take a look back and see what happens to it. As he was working his way up and through the field, he was up about 17, 18 positions. He was on the high side at a corner number 4. And this looks like this car just hooks a hard left-hand turn. It's like his wheel disconnected there for a split second. Just turned hard left, pulled down the track right down here into the infield. Luckily enough, he was able to get it going again and able to rejoin this race, but not before he goes once again back down pit road, and it looks like we will get another caution flag. All right, so yellow flag going to come back out here. Now, I'm not sure if it was for him rejoining the racing surface or if we see some issues. Looks like Tim Taylor potentially running into some more problems. Jackie Whaley working into his inside here, and looks like maybe out of corner number 2 is their contact here, or down into 1. There are 3. There we go. There's the contact. We've seen this a couple times already with Tim Taylor as Timmy just trying to hang on to this ride. And let's take a look at it again here as Jackie Whaley right there. Looks like Jackie's trying to send it in through the middle to high side. Looks like the 99. He's trying to cut it down the racetrack, trying to get a different angle and arch into corner number 3 here. Maybe wanting to run more of that bottom to middle lane right here. He kind of turns down the racetrack right there as Jackie's just going to keep going straight as he wants to roll the outside lane. And unfortunately for both these drivers, they just kind of meet in the middle right there. Tim not clear of the 720 ride. Obviously, Jackie expecting him to maybe try to stay up a little bit higher on the racing surface and not cut down the racetrack to try to get a better angle into corner number 3. And that's where we see that contact. And then we see a few other drivers who are going to all of a sudden slide into this one. There's Jim Rivas. There is the 17 ride of Cassidy. There's William Hargreaves in there as well as Tim Taylor up and on his lid. Goes for a wild ride there. Luckily enough, the Memphis Grizzlies ride does land back onto all 4 tires. But we love this. This is new. I don't think I've ever seen the damage to the roof like that, like where it's actually scraped up and grinded down. The numbers harder to see on it now. We actually kind of like that. That's actually really cool. All right, iRacing stepping up their game. You don't normally see this very often, so I actually really like that. That's actually really cool that that's a thing now. So that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive iRacing. Keep up the good work, because here we go. Back to green flag racing as Jeremy Sexton still out in front. But was this the caution flag that Mr. Tyler Jackson, the Hollywood Shark, was looking for? He's got it hooked up down on the inside. Here is everyone else rolling that outside lane, trying to keep that heavy throttle, trying to keep on rolling, getting that outside momentum as T-Jack just down low, just going to keep on trying to hit his mark, see if he can use that saved up tire to work his way back up towards the front. Here comes William Hargreaves as well. Hargreaves right there up inside the top 10 now is the 71 Ryan, who got tied up in a caution flag early in this race, has been able to work his way back through that traffic and back up here inside the top 10 now. Hargreaves, T-Jack, they're always very, very heavy favorites to win here when we come to a racetrack like the dirt track at Charlotte. And right now, they're trying to navigate their way up towards the front. But we do see another caution flag fly as cautions breeding cautions, and this time it looks like potentially TNT Racing teammates gonna get together here as we see the 88 ride of Cody Ernest. Looks like he's just going to lose it at a corner number 4 right there. Slides down the racetrack across the nose there of Tim Taylor. Timmy, after a great qualifying run, leading a bunch of laps early in this race, just cannot catch a break right there as his own teammate cuts down the track right in front of him and virtually right into his lap. Nowhere to go for Tim Taylor, and that will put us back under the yellow flag as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. It's Jeremy Sexton, Dustin Hannigan, 1 and 2 here on the Speedway as Dalton Gibson coming in with that like on the stream. How are you, Dalton? Dalton coming in, showing the love here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button for us on the broadcast right now. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching over on YouTube. Hit that follow button. Hit that share button. Hit all the gosh hacking buttons here this evening and become part of the PeaceMaker family here today. As Vicky Scholler, Mama Scholler says, well, dang, guys. Dang, she says. Dang, fellas. Well, we're starting to see these DWR rides work their way up towards the front, Mama Scholler, so you should be happy here in a little bit. It's Jackie Whaley now inside the top 5. T-Jack there in 6. Then you see Chad Puterbo right there in 7th. Jim Rivas and that number 71 rider, William Hargreaves, there right there as well. So the DWR cars starting to navigate their way up towards the front of the field. As we get ready for another big restart right here, it's going to be 41 laps completed here this evening. Is down and out at corner number 4. Green flag back out into the air here for Jeremy Sexton. Sexton sees that green flag fly. Hannigan trying to get a great run right there, but here comes Philip Sexton down to the inside. So Philip trying to jump up and take position number 2 away from Dustin Hannigan. But Hannigan going to hang strong, rolling that outside lane, just hitting his marks, getting great runs down the straightaways here, and looking to stay glued to the back bumper of that 2020 ride. As here comes the other 20 of Sexton. That's Philip Sexton, the 720 of Mr. Jackie Whaley. And then you see that 2 ride of Ty Ralph. He's been up here battling all evening long, and T-Jack navigating his way back up towards the front as we do see the caution flag come back out. So cautions breeding cautions here in this one. Come on, fellas. Still a lot of laps left. Still a lot of laps, a lot of time to try to work yourself up towards the front here. A lot of caution flags through this middle portion, but that is racing for you. And unfortunately for some of these drivers, they're getting tore up out there on the racetrack. We're going to see the couple drivers here run out of room as here's the 16 ride. That's Jason Calhoun, and just looks like there's contact in front of them, and then everyone just starts to pile into it. Oh, that's the 43 ride right there. The Witch Doctor, that is Nathan Trepo collected. We saw unfortunate contact there for Brandon Van Houten as well. A lot of other drivers getting tied up in this one. Let's take another look at it as it starts with the 2 ride almost here. Let's take a look. Okay, so there's the 2. He's on the outside lane. Looks like him and Hargreaves get hooked together. And that's what puts the 2 onto the lap of the 76 ride. And that's where things are just going to continue to get worse for everybody else. So there's contact here down and out of corner number 4 right here. Watch Hargreaves, the 71 ride, washed up the racetrack, over the 2 ride, up and into the outside fence. So that kind of stacks them up right here. Here comes Van Houten. Van Houten gets into the back end of this 2 machine, not realizing these guys are hooked together. Then they're slowing down. He can't get checked up quick enough. Gets underneath the 2 ride of Stefanski, shoots him down the racetrack right into the lap there of Nathan Trepo. Busted right front for Trepo, so he can no longer turn this car. He's trying to get it turned to the left here. You can see that left front pointed all the way left, but the car just continues to push up the racetrack right back over the lap here of the 76 of Van Houten. Jason Calhoun, Tyler Ryan, nowhere to go. He's going to get some pretty good contact into that one. Mr. Rice in there. Jeremy Vaughn getting some damage as well, as a bunch of drivers tore up there. As here we go back to green flag racing. So the green flag back out here in this one is Jeremy Sexton with the race, leading a big slide job right there. Couldn't quite pull the trigger for the 20 ride of Philip Sexton. Oh, baby, he sent it in there looking for something, but could not find it, as Dustin Hannigan able to hang on to it. As here comes Jackie Whaley trying to work his way around that 2 ride of Ty Ralph, and hoping that he can find an opening right there. Unfortunately, could not find a hole to slide into, and now here comes Tyler Jackson. T-Jack down low as him and Whaley go door to door, and T-Jack blinking a little bit right there. At first, I thought maybe he got into that infield tire and just alt F4'd it, but able to keep it rolling there on the racetrack. But it's all Jeremy Sexton out in front. It's 45 laps completed and only 20 laps left to go here this evening, as the Circle Track Showdown here at the Dirt Warrior Racing League well underway, and we are getting closer and closer to our checkered flag here this evening. Can Jeremy Sexton hang on and pick up another win here on the season, or do we see someone like Hannigan, Tyler Jackson, William Hargreaves back here, sliding their way up towards the front of the field and steal this win away from that 2020 Riders. Look out, more contact. Steven Stefanski up and into the outside fence. Pretty solid hit right there for the 15 ride. Able to keep it rolling though, as man, Jackie Whaley and a lot of these drivers just trying to hang on to their rides, but they are sending it right now. They know it is time to go. There is no holding back. There is no time to sit back and just let this race come to you. You got to take advantage of every single run you can get out there on the racetrack. As they continue to beat and bang, everyone trying to navigate their way towards the front, as Dustin Hennigan now going for the slide job here over Sexton, and it looks like we'll get a new race leader. Down across the line, it's Dustin Hennigan, who jumps up and takes the race lead away from Sexton. But here comes Jeremy cutting back up. He's going to slide jump. That 16 ride gets very loose, though, and that allows Hennigan to just jump out in front of him here. And now it's going to be Jeremy Sexton's job to try to go to work here. He was on defense, but now he's got to go back to offense. He's got to try to find his way now around this 16 right. He's going to try to size him up, try to do the exact same thing. Hit him with a slide jump, trying to play that defense and keep him back there at bay. But right now, he's starting to lose touch. A car length or two now getting separated between him and that 16 machine. Hennigan out in front is Philip Sexton there in third. Tyrell Finn fourth with T-Jack. Tyler Jackson now up into the top 5 as the caution flag will come back out. So another late race caution flag here this evening, and it looks like Evan Modigan, oh man, had a great race going up inside our top 3, top 2, battling early on this evening, but second half of this race not going his way. Sends it into the corner, a little contact right there with the 15 ride, and it just loses the front end there of that car. He just loses the front end. The car goes around there as he slides in, just ever so slightly nudges that Sunrise Racing. Steve's lawn care number 15 of Steven Stefanski, and that's where we see Modigan lose that front end, go around. Now look at Jeremy Vaughn, look at Tyler Ryan, all these drivers trying to avoid him, trying to keep themselves out of it, not wanting to run into this 13 ride. Unfortunately, James Ellington is going to get in there, ends up with some pretty solid contact there himself as he slides into that 13 machine. Pretty heavy front end damage now for Mr. Monaghan here this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing as Dustin Hennigan out in front. Hennigan has the race lead. Then it's Jeremy Sexton there in second. Philip Sexton up and into third. And I do believe, yeah, there's still the 2 ride of Mr. Tyrell in position number 4. Looking for more. T-Jack up inside the top 5 here once again. Jackie Whaley to his outside. William Hargreaves there in 7th. With the Chad Puderbo number 20 ride to his outside. Cameron Stefanski and Dakota Proud Radio are top 10 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here at the dirt track at Charlotte. We are going to jump into a very quick PeaceMaker Gaming crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver. Alrighty, with only a few laps left to go, this is the battle between first and second. Is that 8-rider Tyler Jackson? We saw him back there looking like a shark out of water. He was all the way back saving tires, but now he's using them to his advantage as this is the battle for the race lead and potentially tonight's victory. As T-Jack trying to beat Dustin Hennigan here this evening at the dirt track in Charlotte, down across the line. Only a few laps left to go here this evening as T-Jack out in front, but here comes a big run out of Dustin Hennigan. The 16 down to the inside. He'll go for the slide job down here through 3 and 4, but a great cut back down the racetrack into the 8 machine, and we do see a late race caution flag that is going to fly. Caution flag comes out here late in this race, and that is going to change the entire ball game here this evening. That will mix things up entirely here today as the yellow flag is displayed with only a couple laps left to go. I do believe they're going to keep that number 8 rider Tyler Jackson out in front. So T-Jack has the race lead, has the advantage here on the restart as the control car, as we'll take a quick look back and see what brings out this late race yellow flag here this evening as we're in for a generational look here at what is going to happen, how this race is going to play out. Let's take a look at Jim Rivas, the 57 ride, 3 wide down and out at corner number 4 right here. Sends it into corner number 1, nice and easy. Here comes a slide job at Marco's pace, kind of parks it onto his nose. That puts Jim up and into the outside fence. Heavy contact there, broken right front, stuffed into that wall, and that's where we see the yellow flag fly. So a late race caution flag, meaning that we get a late race restart here this evening. I do believe it is going to be a green-white checkered finish as we should complete lap number 63 here when we go back to green flag racing. And that means we will have a 2-lap shootout here this evening, biting another caution flag here this evening. If we do get another yellow flag before the white flag is displayed, then we will go to a little bit of Dirt Warrior Racing League overtime here at Charlotte. But for a driver like T-Jack, he does not want to see this caution flag. He wants to get a big restart right here, get a great launch, open up a couple car lengths between himself and Hennigan, where it leaves Hennigan not able to throw any big slide jumps or make any late race moves to try to steal this win away from him. And here we go. That's exactly what he gets. But here comes the 24 back out onto the racetrack. Everyone's battling here at the front for the race win in the 24 ride. Multiple laps down, throws his name into the ring to make it that much more exciting. As T-Jack, though, down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4, he will see the white flag fly. So the white flag is into the air one more time around here at Charlotte as T-Jack out in front, trying to bring the Hollywood Shark into victory lane here this evening at Charlotte. Down in through 3 and out of 4 for the final time. Hennigan can't get back to him, and it's Tyler Jackson. T-Jack gets it done here at Charlotte, picking up the Circle Track Showdown Dirt Warrior Racing League's race here this evening. As Tyler Jackson picks up the win, Dustin Hennigan coming home in second, and Jeremy Sexton coming home in position number 3. Philip Sexton there in 4th, and Tyrell rounding out our top 5. William Hargraves, Jackie Whaley, Cameron Stefanski, Dakota Proud, and Mason Cassidy rounding out our top 10 as T-Jack, though, gets the win and parks the Hollywood Shark ride up and into victory lane here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for that Hollywood Shark ride. Tyler Jackson, T-Jack getting it done here this evening and putting himself up and into victory lane, man. What a run and what a drive there out of Tyler Jackson this evening, man. That was an absolutely amazing performance. As Jacob Sexton says, big brain move. Saving pays off. Saving definitely pays off, especially when you come to a racetrack like Charlotte. It is pretty big. You can really wear out those tires early on and know that this is 65 laps. There's a lot of time to just gotta be patient, save those tires. We saw a few drivers trying it. Obviously T-Jack, he's done it multiple times before, really good at it. Same with Hargreaves, some of these other guys, and They just could not get back up there in time to battle and duke it out and try to win this race over Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack just plays his cards right perfectly here this evening, and it pays off as he pokes his way up and into victory lane here this evening. And we'll get ready to pull in our race winner, and hopefully the rest of our top three here this evening is already in the waiting room. Our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Tyler Jackson. Hey, T-Jack, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy? That's right. T-Jack has a tough time with this. Tyler, can you hear me? Hey, T-Jack, can you hear me? Tyler! Hey, Tyler, do you get a copy? Chat, T-Jack needs to get his Discord figured out here. I don't know what goes on with his Discord, but he's been struggling with it. Okay, so he's jumped into a different room. Let's see if he jumps in here. T-Jack, try that, or maybe I'll jump in there. Let me see if that'll work. Hey, Tyler, do you get a copy?
I got you, man.
All right, there we go. Finally, we were able to figure it out and get him up here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for our race winner, Tyler Jackson. T-Jack, take us back through that one. Obviously, quick car here this evening. New paint scheme, quick car, looking fresh out there, starting on that pole position this evening, and instantly, right out of the get-go, you jumped down to that inside lane. You had the game plan right from the get-go, and it was save, save, save until it wasn't. And then you worked your way up and through the traffic that was in front of you, able to navigate your way back up into, the top 5, then up inside the top 2 there, moving around Jeremy Sexton, and then you go to work on Dustin Hennigan, able to make a great move, jump in front of him, and then hold him off here late in this race to park that Hollywood Shark ride up and into victory lane here this evening, man. Take us back through it, and how does it feel to be back up here in victory lane?
Yeah, man. Qualifying first was obviously good. Really, the line in qualifying was a slider 1 and 2, and bottom 3 and 4, and it really suits my driving style running that. Both of those actually. I can't really run just a regular radius in the middle. I don't seem to run very well, so I was glad we had that. Yeah, the game plan was just to run the bottom. My plan was to save for 40 laps and then go, and man, we kept dropping like a rock, and I think we got all the way back to almost 10th, and then we almost got in a couple wrecks there in front of me, and I ended up clipping the inside tire and knocking the left front in. And when you're trying to save tires and you're only going half throttle on the straightaway and you knock the front end in, you feel pretty stupid. So yeah, I mean, I didn't think we were going to get there at the end. It got really one lane kind of dominant up top, and when there's 5 or 6 guys in front of you, even if you got better tires, there's not much you can do with them. And luckily there was back-to-back cautions, I don't know, with 15 to go, and ended up being single file. And once we restarted single file, I could actually run my slider line and not exactly run all the way up to the top, kind of give those guys a little lane, but it was just enough for me to make my moves. And then got to battling Dustin there and parked it on his nose pretty good one time, and then he slid me a couple times, and I got saved by that caution that came out. I think he probably would have walked away with it if he started first. He seemed like he gained a lot more speed right at the end. Up in 1 and 2, it seemed like that slider line went away. But yeah, so good race to him, and good race to everybody up front. And yeah, I didn't think we are going to get it, but saving tires finally paid off.
Yeah, saving the tires paid off here this evening, and then obviously, you're battling with Hennigan. He's been around the scene for a long time now, still one of the young guns, in comparison to, some of the, older guys like not necessarily yourself, but you look at Jim and some of you guys that have been around for a long, long time here. So Dustin kind of came onto the scene, started off fairly decent, and then just kept getting better and better and better, and over the last, couple of years, he's always been a threat to win these races when it comes to these dirt street street stocks or even late models, and you knew you had your work cut out for you here tonight. Obviously trying to battle back up there and get around these guys. As you said, once it got that single file racing action, you know, it made it that much tougher for you. But obviously things worked out. You're able to find that groove, you're able to use that slide job lane and work yourself out in front. But man, it had to be a little nerve-wracking when you're sitting back there, you know, back in 6th, 5th position, seeing that there was, you know, 10, 15 laps left to go, knowing that you had some very, very tough competition that you have to try to navigate yourself around.
Yeah, my only hope was they burnt their stuff up, which I thought they probably did. They were all running the top pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, literally that first 30 laps, I never hit full throttle even on the straightaway. So, yeah, just glad it paid off. Otherwise, you look kind of like a fool dropping from 1st to 10th if you end up 6th. You know, you'd rather just run the wheels off it, and if you get past at the end, you do. But luckily, it worked out tonight. Yeah, Dustin's been really good. He's been really good for a long time. He doesn't race as much as some of the guys, so I don't see him as much. But I've always had a lot of respect for him, and I think last time we raced, I actually wrecked him on accident, so I was surprised. I'm surprised he didn't pay me one back there, but no, a lot of respect to him for not dumping me there when I threw the slider. And yeah, it's kind of too bad the yellow came out. We might have had a really hell of a battle towards the end, but I think it ended up in my favor. I don't think I would have got him if it stayed green.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely would have been a great show. I don't know who would have gotten it, whether it would have been Dustin or if it would have been you if we didn't see that late race caution flag. But, man, we were getting ready for an absolutely amazing show and a slide fest between the two of you, because that was a lot of fun to watch here this evening. But, man, T-Jack able to get it done, park that Hollywood Shark right up and into victory lane as it looked like a Hulk Hogan Shark on the hood of that car, man. Obviously, it looked like a tribute there to Hollywood Hulk Hogan here this evening. And with that race car, man, take us through that and, you know, obviously how good it feels to be able to park it up here in victory lane.
Yeah, I came up with the idea last week and got a hold of Taylor Pratt and Tommy Gun Customs, and he's been knocking out, you know, I come up with some funny ideas and he knocks them out, and it's kind of cool just always having kind of a theme, you know. The shark theme's treated me well over the years. It kind of gets you a little, you know, people kind of recognize it or whatever. So we stuck with that, and I told him I wanted to do like an NWO car, you know. I figured with Hulk passing, you know, it'd be kind of cool, right time to roll that out. And yeah, he did an awesome job on the shark on the roof of the car, and the DWR logo looks just like the NWO logo. So yeah, he knocked it out of the park. He's the best guy going in paint. So if you want a sick paint, get a hold of him. And yeah, just thanks to all the DWR guys that continue to put this on. I didn't have a very good showing last night with the opening night with the car, the paint scheme. So it was good to get a win under our belt in this one. And otherwise, we're gonna have to bring out the old Jurassic Shark, because that thing was always quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely going to have that one locked in the stable, bring it as the backup car just in case you need it in the future. But T-Jack, man, hell of a run, hell of a performance here this evening, capturing tonight's victory in the Circle Track Showdown. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank for such a great performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, congrats to the top three, and yeah, all the guys at DWR. Everybody that watches, you know, it's cool seeing it going back through and seeing the comments, whether they're good or bad. You know, it's fun that somebody talks about us. You know, we're all just sitting in our basements or living rooms, and it's kind of cool that people actually care to watch. So I'm gonna watch the replay now, and thanks to my mom and dad for watching too.
Absolutely, brother. Well, heck of a run, heck of a drive. One more thing before we go, T-Jack. Give us your best woo right now for Mr. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
What you gonna do, brother, when Sharkmania runs wild on you?
Perfect. We love it. We love it, brother. T-Jack, enjoy the rest of your night. Congrats on the win. And we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday.
All right, later. See you next Wednesday.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Tyler Jackson as T-Jack comes home in the top spot, picking up tonight's checkered flag. As, yeah, we saw Johnny Ratley in the chat as well with that absolutely amazing comment right there. Let me tell you something, brother. Sharkmania just ran wild on you. Oh, baby, we love it. We love it. We love the Hollywood Shark paint scheme, man. Absolutely amazing ride. Absolutely amazing to see, you know, the Hollywood Shark and the tribute there to Hulk Hogan on the ride with T-Jack here this evening. As we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher. I don't know if we're going to get Dustin in here. I don't see him in the Discord, so I don't think we're going to get I don't think we're going to get him up here, unfortunately. So Dustin not in here. Doesn't look like we'll be able to pull him in to the broadcast booth for a post-race interview. So that is unfortunate. But huge shout-out to Henny. Man, great run, great drive there. Not always on the sim. Not very often that he's out there rolling with us and battling here. So great to see that, he was able to slide in here tonight, have a little bit of fun, put on a great show for us, and duke it out there with, a lot of the best here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League as Hennigan comes home in position number 2. Solid run, solid drive there for him, and now we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher. It was Jeremy Sexton. Sexton comes home in position number 3. Great run here for the 2020 ride. Battled his way up through the field, up to the front there for a little bit, leading some laps. I thought maybe he was going to be able to run away with it and keep all these guys back there at bay, but obviously just falling off there a little bit at the end, slid back to third and had to settle in for a third place run here this evening. Let's get Jeremy up here into the booth. Hey Jeremy, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, Jeremy. Another great run, another great race here for you, man. As we saw you battle your way up through the field and up towards the front, and then all of a sudden, you take that race lead, and it looked for a while there that maybe you were just going to run away with this one, keep these guys back there at bay until finally we saw Hennigan able to get around you. Then all of a sudden, here comes T-Jack able to slide up in front of you, and you had to kind of just settle in there late in this race for a third place finish.
Yeah, I knew it was risky from running Monday. I managed to win the Monday test and tune deal, so I knew where my tires were at. But it was just so chaotic early on that I was willing to roll the dice and take the chance to get a lead and to be able to hold it and not have many cautions, and didn't play in my favor. For some reason, we can't seem to get many laps without a bunch of cautions. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, definitely tough seeing that many yellow flags, especially when you have the race lead. And for a long time here late in this race, after probably, let's say, the first 30, maybe 40 laps of this race, we saw a lot of very good multiple lines out there, and then it seemed like it became that high side dominant. When it becomes that so strong up on the outside groove, we don't really see a whole lot of passing. We see the odd slide job here and there, but if you can have a good enough lead and a good enough advantage, the driver back in second can never get that opportunity to try to jump up and steal it away from you. So you were kind of sitting in the catbird seat there, and with all these yellow flags, bringing these guys back to your rear bumper and giving them new life and new opportunities to steal this win away from you. Obviously, it went down that way, and you hate to see it, but man, it's got to sting a little bit knowing that you had such a great car here throughout this race.
Nah, like I say, I knew full well that was a risk to try to get to the lead and take the chance of using the tires up. I knew T-Jack was falling back, purposely so, saving tires, hoping for the cautions, and it played in his favor. Hennigan raced me really well. I mean, I don't have nothing negative to say there. That was very fun. Ty raced really good. Everybody up there raced really good, I feel. Me and T-Jack made a little slight contact. I was wanting to kind of slide with him back and forth a minute, but killed my momentum. But I knew he had way better tires and was on a mission, and congrats to him. I know he's took some time off. Congrats to Dustin on a good run, and overall it's pretty good. I hate that lap car kind of got in the mix at the end because me and Ty had a good race going.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what was going on with that lap car as we went back to the green flag there and coming out of the pits right in front of you guys. But that definitely threw an extra loop into things and made things honestly even tighter there for all of you guys battling at the front of the field. But man, heck of a run, hell of a drive here this evening, Jeremy. You park a bank up here into the podium here in that third position. Brother, who'd you like to thank for a great run again here tonight in the Dirt Warrior Racing League?
First and foremost, God, thank my wife for putting up with me on here all the time, racing, and everybody in the kennel, my brother Philip, my son Jacob, Marco, Seth, Derek, Steven, hope I'm not missing anybody. Of course, JC and Jordan, they help us a ton. Just everybody that helps make this deal go, Jim and all his guys with DWR, they really put on a good deal here, and it's absolutely free to run. They don't put up with any BS. Big Tim for the wraps that he's doing for me, keeping the cars looking good. And you for the broadcast, of course, and everybody that comes out and supports this deal and makes dirt street stock racing fun.
Absolutely, brother, and that's what it's all about, having fun, enjoying the time out there on a Wednesday night, battling here with these full-fendered race cars and enjoying some great racing action and the camaraderie here in the series. As we did get word from the Dirt Warrior Racing League as well, as they said that the lap car won't be back, just for your information. So the lap car will not be a problem in the future, which is good news. A little bit of a weapon out there, but obviously playing a little bit of a role late in this race. But you're able to hang on into that third position. Don't let Tyrell get around you, and a great run again here for you tonight, Jeremy. Congrats on the great performance, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth again next Wednesday night.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Absolutely, you as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place driver, Mr. Jeremy Sexton, as Jeremy comes home in position number 3 here this evening, man. Some great runs, some great driving out there on the speedway. These guys put on a heck of a show for us here this evening, as we did see Mr. Jeremy Vaughn says, dang, pit crew couldn't fix my car, so it was tough to steer. The toe was out of whack, he says. It was out of whack, he says. Absolutely, he says, looking for a new pit crew. If you know anyone to sign, the sign guy doesn't know how to do his job. Laugh out loud. Oh no, even the sign guy, the guy that's in the grandstands holding up a sign. Oh my, no shot, brother. They're getting rid of everyone. They're looking for mechanics. They're looking for tire changers. They're looking for a new sign guy. Hell, they might better just ask for a new hauler driver as well, Jeremy. Get a new truck driver in there as well to get that race car back and forth between all these races. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. But, man, heck of a run, heck of a show here by all these drivers. Man, that was a ton of fun. These guys put on another absolutely thrilling show for us here this evening, man. That was a lot of fun. As Jeremy says, he wouldn't tell the crew to get to work. Laugh out loud. Oh, yeah, you can't have that. That's like self-sabotage right there. You can't have that in the pit stall, brother. You can't have that going on. You know, the whole crew's got to be working, you know, just meshed together. You can't have those problems. But man, heck of a run, heck of a drive for you, Jeremy. Always great to see Mr. Vaughn out there on the racetrack. So good to see all these drivers out there again this evening, battling here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League and our Circle Track Showdown here this evening. But listen, we can't thank y'all enough as well. All the viewers that came in, showed the love here this evening, all the likes, the comments, the shares. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and can't thank you guys enough here this evening for showing the love and enjoying some great racing action here this evening. And we can't wait to see you guys all back in here again tomorrow night, as we hope to see you guys in the grandstands cheering on our Hyper-Shaped Racing League tomorrow evening, as we'll be back to battle. We'll be back up here into the booth, and then we got a new series starting on Friday night as well. So we got Racing Friday night. We're back into the booth Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're live every day, baby. Every day we're live, and we're bringing you guys amazing racing action and just amazing content. Hopefully we'll see you guys back in here in the next one. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Peace and love, and we'll catch y'all later, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.
Engines rumble, a primal roar, putting us to the test. Helmets on, we're all strapped in, trying to do our best. From the bleachers, cheering loud, a father and his child. Every driver, heart aflame, and adrenaline runs wild. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. Four wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. pushing hard past the limit. We're truly going all out. It's the Circle Track Showdown on a dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed. Checkered flag flapping in the breeze. Heart is pounding, mud is flying, bringing us to our knees. Cross the line, a thunderous cheer, victory has been claimed. King of the track, the champion here, the track has been tamed. It's the Circle Track Showdown on the dusty, dry, slick ground. 4 wide, side by side, with glory to be found. Hammer down, around we go, looking for more speed. This ain't no asphalt ballet, and nothing's guaranteed.